So hi, my name's Kate, and the guy riding with me is the hubby Nigel. We're seniors and we ride cube stereo full suspension e-bikes on off-road routes where possible. So for today's ride, we've parked up at the side of the A66 near the railway station cafe. Nice and handy for when we finish our ride for a cuppa. The plan is to head across the A66, travel alongside the Bassenthwaite Lake and take a couple of fab bridleways before recrossing A66 and heading up Sale Fell. Done this route a couple of times and it really is perfect for novice off-roaders with little, if any, challenging sections. So here we go, across the A66 and onto the B-class road alongside Bassenthwaite Lake. And we're heading towards Armathwaite Hotel. Just after that we're going to turn left, heading up towards the Animal Wildlife Park where we take a bridleway and get off the road. Very pleasant views of Bassenthwaite on the right hand side. But of course now that we've got a few more leaves on the trees, it's not so clear. And we're going to turn right at this junction over the bridge. That is rather beautiful. Okay, onwards. And we're going to turn left here, signposted for the Lake District Wildlife Park, with the main turning for the Armathwaite on the left there. A nice quiet lane that's just going to take us down to the Wildlife Centre. But we're going to go straight across through that gate ahead and onto a bridleway heading for Isle. Done this route before and it's a lovely little off-road section. A nice bit of gravel, so it's a bit of dirt, a couple of puddles, but nothing to worry about. And we're actually going alongside the wildlife park at this point. Now this bridleway and another one is for a few miles long. It actually takes you right to the edge of Cockermouth if you wanted to, which is really nice. We are, however, going to take a forest route before we get into Cockermouth and head through towards Embleton. You can tell it's been quite a bit of rain lately. The ground's a little bit soft in places. And this is probably going to be the last ride out for us for a while. Husband's scheduled for a knee replacement on Friday. Let's just hope it works and he gets back into the saddle towards the back end. A lovely little river down on our left-hand side. Really is a very pleasant route this. And you certainly don't need a full suspension to ride along here. Our hardtails would have been absolutely fine. But we're going to be heading up Sale Fell towards the end of the ride. And that is a little bit rockier. And here we have the first of the gates. There's 3 or 4 on this route. Now back onto a bit wider track. And now concrete as we approach a farm. Through the farm and out onto the farm tarmac Lonning. So as my bike display is telling me, we're coming onto the country lane, turning to the left, and at that junction we've come 4.2 miles. Now there is a bridleway here on the right hand side, which last time we did this ride we took, but it ends up in a boggy gateway. Not very pleasant, not really worth it. So we've decided to stick to the road this time. It's quiet enough. Down to a junction, and we're going to turn left, signposted, over this bridge for Keswick and Cockermouth. About maybe 100 yards from the bridge, we get to a junction and we're going to turn to the right, and at this point we've come 5.3 miles. Junction signposted Cockermouth, part of the Sustran Route 10. Here we go, and at this point we've come 5.4 miles. We've got a left-hand turn onto a bridleway. The gate's open. I like it. So this is like almost like a forest track. Good bridleway at this section. It's a little bit rougher further on, but nothing that isn't very easily ridden. Let's go back to the ride screen, the routes. There we are. So this is the Bosch Smart System with the new route map they've put onto the display. I just thought I'd test it out instead of having my actual iPhone on the Bosch phone holder. Basic navigation seems to be okay. So I planned the route on Komoot and transferred it across to the Flow app and picked it up on the bike here. So at this first forest junction we go straight on. A little bit of uphill, a little bit of looser gravel. Select turbo, I think. Just got to keep a steady cadence. So we've got a gate straight ahead, but we're going to go and try the forest route out to the left. Now, the gate ahead takes you to Cockermouth and you get some fantastic views. We're going to see how we get on along here to the left on this forest trail. See straight away it's going to be a bit gnarlier with tree roots. Apparently we're going through Setmurthy Woods. See, we've got some potentially amazing views ahead. Looks like we're onto a forest track. And I'm going to go for the ride. Oh well, just take a swing around and look at the views. Amazing. Very nice. So, we've come out on a better forest track. As I say, we turn to the right, heading in the general direction of Embleton. This is truly glorious. Really, it's quite unexpected actually. Obviously had some forest clearance on the left-hand side, so that's given us a view that I don't think we'd probably normally have. Hopefully there'll be replanting. I know Forestry England let you ride their forest paths. It's an easy gravel trail through beautiful woods, nice and quiet, away from the traffic. What's not to like? Coming down, we turn to the left instead of straight on. And almost immediately, looking ahead to where the husband is, we take a right-hand turn, heading back down through the forest. I think we're losing the wide track. This is looking promising. We're out onto a road. Excellent. Had a quick look at my map to check I'm on the right way, and it's saying left. And then shortly we take a right. So we're coming up to a junction here on the right-hand side, marked up golf course. And we've come 8.5 miles. Very minor road. Beautiful. Again, we have panoramic views. Fab. And I'm presuming this is the golf club on the right-hand side. At the bottom here, we go straight over. Heading for the A66. And we'll just slip up onto this sidewalk here. It's been put in as a across the road pavement. Timed that just right. And we're going to take a left turn here off the A66 without touching it. Signposted Lawton and Buttermere. There we go, back onto a nice minor country road. So we've got a T-junction ahead. Right is to Lawton Buttermere, left is to Wythop Mill, and that's where we're heading. So on this quiet lane, we're actually travelling east parallel to the A66. So at 10.9 miles, we've got a turning on the left-hand side, a bridleway called Seacross Lonning. Off we go down. So here we go. Seacross Lonning it is. At this moment it's a dirt path, quite rideable. And this is going to take us towards Silfell. That's my only thoughts, was because of the rain we've had, it might just get a little bit wet. But we'll see. Not too bad at the moment. And I've got the husband as a trail finder, so he'll come to grief before I does. Do. Doop-de-doop-de-doo. It's just getting a little bit grassier, and I am wondering if further in summer, because we're only at the beginning of May, further in summer this may get a little bit overgrown. Don't know. Just getting time to have a little look at the views. It's partly why I like having the GoPro on. I can get to see it when I get back home. sometimes you're just concentrating on where you're going too much, and you miss out on what's around you. And we have a stream. I hope there's a bridge. Letting the husband do the heavy humping. Not a lot of room. Yes, we're going to go to the right out of that bridleway on a country lane. So this must be Wythop Mill coming up. And as we go through Wythop Mill, we've come 11.7 miles. And at this junction, we're going to go straight ahead. And we'll be shortly heading off-road onto some more wonderful bridleways. Here we go, heading for the bottom of Sale Fell. So we're coming up to Kelswick Farm. And we've got a bridleway which is going to take us over the fell towards Bassenthwaite Lake. So the farm's on the left and we're going to go straight on onto the bridleway. And across those lovely green fell sides. Beautiful bit of grassy fell, or field really. And at this point we've come 13 miles. Now we've got quite an interesting ruin here on the left-hand side. It's the site of the old Wythop church. Not much left. Purely a ruin. Through the gate onto a bit of single track. This is a nice forest track now. Mainly just hard soil, a little bit of gravel in among it all, and grass. Good to ride over. So the reason I put these routes together, as I've explained in other videos, is that when the husband and I got these e-bikes a couple of years ago, alright, we set off on hardtails, but we've now got full suspension. But we wanted to ride off-road as much as possible. We live in Cumbria. And really, when you look at YouTube and the books, most of the routes that are there are for the high-level technical stuff, which is just beyond our abilities. So I've tried to ride and source as many off-road routes that are doable by us, and I thought you might like to share them with us. Now we're going to go to the right here onto the bridleway that goes across the fields. Do you want want me to close it? I'll just go on gently through this field of sheep with their lambs. So as I say, I've put these routes together, pop them up on YouTube in the hope that they will be of some use to others that have these sort of bikes at our sort of senior age, in the hope that you can be able to utilise them. At least you'll be able to see what the route's like, what the terrain is you're going to be riding over, and then decide whether it's something you're going to be able to ride. Some of the routes, this one especially, have got some amazing views. I mean, that is just absolutely gorgeous. So there's a house in there to the left. Can't see whether it's in ruins or it's actually lived in, but that would probably explain why we're now down onto a hardcore, hard gravel route. So we've come down that track and we're now on to Route 71. Route 71 comes up this farm track and heads off in that direction, which is where we're going. And then we drop rather sharply down towards Bassenthwaite Lake. And at this point we've come exactly 14 miles. 14 fabulous and in the main off-road, wonderful scenic miles. And then we should hopefully start getting views down onto Bassenthwaite, the lake itself, just ahead. How magic is this? Looking down onto Bassenthwaite Lake. And that'll be the Skiddaw range behind. Onwards and down. This kind of loose gravel, but we're now onto a reasonably more solid path. Just having a bit of trouble with my dropper seat. Doesn't want to play. And instead of doing what we've done previously, which is go directly ahead and down to the lake, we're going to take the forest road down here to the left. Here we are. And head back towards the car. And at this point we've come 14.3 miles. So this forest track is fab. It's a nice compressed stone gravel route, dropping steadily down through the trees towards where we set off, Bassenthwaite Railway Cafe and the Pheasant Inn. And I think the Pheasant Inn is where we're heading. Have a nice cider. Glory be. I think we can have a nice fast route down here, and I'd go for it. Coming through. So coming down that hill, we're going to go to the left here. Back onto a nice compressed gravel, few rocks path. So coming down the path, we've got a right-hand turn. And it's going to take us down to a tarmac road. And we're going to go left. short distance along, hit a T-junction, and we're going to go around to the right. And there's the pheasant in ahead, where we're going to have a little pit stop. It's like a carrot dangled at the end of a ride. And at this point, we've come exactly 16 miles. So that's today's ride over. We're now heading back to where we parked the car. And at this point, it's Giraffe and me. Fabulous ride, lots of amazing views. I think probably anybody could ride this as long as they've got a suitable bike. If when you get to Seacross Lonning, it looks as though that bridleway is overgrown during the summer months, there's still the minor roads that'll take you up to Wythop Mill and Sail Fell. So just use them instead.